Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a close look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we've got a whole stack of reports and commentary here. We're going to try and move past the daily scores,
Right.
and really get to the heart of what's been going on with them organizationally.
Exactly. This is all about pressure. I mean, you can see how a couple of sudden injuries, these health scares, have basically fueled this really urgent search for some stability on defense.
And it shows you just how fast things can change, right? How major team priorities, like who you're targeting in a trade, can just pivot completely based on who's available to play.
It creates so much tension. And it all really started with the Auston Matthews situation. I think we have to start there because that whole saga felt like, a mini version of their entire season.
Let's call it the Matthews roller coaster. So the first shock was when he was suddenly ruled out, lower body injury. He got it blocking a shot in that OT game against the Red Wings. And what really, I think, set off the alarm bells wasn't just the injury itself, it was that day-to-day label.
Because we've seen this before. He's had similar issues earlier in the season. So that designation, it makes you nervous.
It really does. And of course, Matthews is, leading the league in goals. He's the engine. When he's not there, the whole team's identity just shifts. You saw it right away when they had to play the New Jersey Devils without him.
They did. Now, to be fair, they won that game 4-0. Joseph Wool was incredible, a 33-save shutout.
A huge performance. Everyone immediately called it a show of resilience.
Right. But even with the win, that cloud of uncertainty was still there. So my question is, why stick so firmly to that day-to-day tag? Why not even consider long-term injured reserve?
Well, that was a very strategic move, a really critical tell, I think, from the organization.
Okay.
By avoiding LTIR, which, is how you free up cap space when a player's out for a while, like 10 games or 24 days, they were sending a very clear signal.
They're telling everyone, this isn't serious.
Exactly. Both to the league and, maybe more importantly, to their own locker room. They're saying this is a minor thing, we'll be back soon.
So it's about managing the narrative just as much as the roster.
100%. Because LTIR, it gives you cap relief, but it complicates things when the player comes back. It signals a major injury.
But even a minor absence like that, it causes chaos, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you lose your anchor on the power play, the other team's defense can breathe a little easier, the whole game plan changes.
It does. And then, just when everyone was trying to figure it out, the whole thing flipped on its head.
The Winnipeg Jets game.
The Jets game. Matthews just comes right back, logs a full performance, and, what a statement. 4 points. A hat trick and an assist in this wild 6-5 comeback win. He didn't just help them win, he was the reason they won.
He absolutely was.
Okay.
And this is where you have to look beyond the score and really listen to what the coach, Craig Berube, was saying after the game.
Right, because after a 6-5 game, you'd expect him to be talking about defensive breakdowns, about giving up 5 goals.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Not even close. His entire focus was on things like good resilience and character, attitude, collective pushback.
So he's framing the win around fighting through the mistakes, not about playing a clean game.
Exactly. Now, why do that? As a veteran coach, why lean so hard into that kind of psychological framing?
Well, it feels like a strategy to me. It's like they're winning these games despite being inconsistent. If he hammers them on the structure, maybe their confidence drops.
That's it.
But if he praises the attitude, he's basically saying, hey, our offense and our willpower can bail us out.
That's exactly what the analysis suggests. It's a management priority. They're admitting, in a way, that they're winning with sheer effort right now because the defensive gaps are still there. It's a short-term fix for a pretty long-term problem.
And just as that Matthews scare sort of settles down, bam, a second wave hits. This time, William Nylander.
And the Nylander situation, what makes it feel even more disruptive was the timing. That was the key.
Okay, how so?
With Matthews, they knew ahead of time. The coaches had a full day to rejig the lines, the special teams, everything. Nylander, that was a late scratch. Lower body injury announced just minutes before the puck dropped.
Oh, that's instant chaos. You're mentally ready, the lines are set, and then mid-warm-up, your top playmaker is just gone.
Right. And think about what that does. Nylander isn't just a goal scorer. He's maybe their best transition player.
He carries the puck through the neutral zone better than almost anyone.
For sure. So his absence, it hits core functions. Zone exits, controlled entries. And it really, really messes with the power play stability. You can't just plug someone else into that specific role and expect it to work. The whole flow just grinds to a halt.
And you could see them scrambling. They didn't even announce a roster recall right away, which tells you they were trying to solve it on the fly. And all we got from Coach Berube was, that very brief, he's day-to-day.
And that vacuum, that lack of information, it just makes the uncertainty worse for everyone, for the media, for the fans, and definitely for management trying to plan ahead. It just screams internal fire drill.
Okay, so let's pivot now. Because all of this drama with the forwards, it's all happening while there's this pre-existing pressure on the blue line.
A lot of pressure.
The fact that Chris Tanev has been out for a significant time with that groin injury has put a massive spotlight on Toronto's defensive depth.
All right.
Or, their lack of it.
And this is where the whole story connects. The forward injuries, those are like these sudden shocks to the system. But Tanev being out, that's a slow systemic bleed. It didn't just create a problem, it was exposed a weakness that was already there.
Which is why we're hearing that the Leafs are quietly active on the trade market.
Very active.
Yeah.
And their focus is narrowed almost completely to top 4 defensemen.
And the name that keeps coming up in every discussion from all the insiders is Rasmus Andersson from the Calgary Flames. This isn't a new thing, is it?
Not at all. Toronto was kicking the tires on Andersson as far back as last year's deadline. But now, the stakes feel a lot higher. He's going into the last year of his contract, and Calgary is obviously trying to figure out their direction.
And the reports from David Peguiata confirm Toronto's is still right there in the mix with other big contenders like Dallas and Vegas.
They are.
So, why him? Why Anderson specifically? What is it about his game that makes him the guy they seem to have locked onto?
It's all about his ability to just eat up huge, difficult minutes against the other team's best players. He's not a specialist. He's a true workhorse.
All right.
The guy consistently averages over 24 minutes of ice time a night. 24 minutes. For a team like Toronto, that's everything. It means your other pairings aren't getting exposed in tough situations.
That's a massive amount of ice time. It just stabilizes the entire rotation on the back end.
It totally does. And on top of that, he can chip in offensively. He's got, 25 points in 39 games?
Right.
But that's just a bonus. His real value is that he's reliable and he can shut guys down. He's the exact solution for the problem Tanev's injury laid bare.
So if the need is that urgent and he's the perfect fit, why are they being so patient? The sources all say Calgary isn't rushing it, and Toronto is, quote, waiting for more sellers to emerge. That sounds like a huge risk.
It is a colossal risk, no question. But it's a calculated one. Right now, Calgary holds all the leverage because there just aren't many defensemen like Anderson available.
So if Toronto jumps now, they overpay.
Massively.
Yeah.
And they risk handcuffing themselves for future moves. The strategy here is to wait, to hope that a few more teams fall out of the playoff race. That adds more supply to the market, which could bring the price down, or at least give them other options to look at.
So they're basically gambling. They're hoping that their offense, the Matthews and Nylander show, can just keep winning them these 6-5 games until the trade market shifts in their favor.
That's the tightrope they're walking. That is the tension in the organization right now. They know they'll have to give up a lot for Anderson, a high pick, a top prospect, probably more. They just don't want to be forced into paying a premium before they absolutely have to.
So when you put it all together, we've seen this team deal with these really high-stakes health scares with their top guys, while also trying to manage this deep strategic problem on defense that Tanev's injury has just made so much worse.
It all comes back to what the coach is saying. They're betting on attitude and resilience to kind of paper over the cracks in the foundation. They're a high wire act right now. And these